Hey everybody, this is Professor Seifert. Hey, what people are asking me, what are your expectations? I just wanted to let everybody know each professor, APA formatting 6th edition is a standard that's used here at the college. So, but each professor, there's going to be a little bit of a difference between how I or one of the other professors do it. I'm pretty strict with APA formatting because when you guys get to your capstone, these are going to be the expectations. So, and then when you take subsequent classes, these will be the same expectations. So let me go through a paper that was just a sample paper here, just to give you an idea of what is Professor Seifert expecting of me. How like I know some of you are probably wanting to rip your hair out, and I'm meeting with somebody at the college on Monday. I'm more than open to meeting. I have off every other Monday and Friday with my schedule at Lee Health. And then I'm also available via phone. So let's just talk about this quickly. So page one. So your header in page one, it needs to say running head with a colon. This student chose to have this invasive and non-invasive monitoring as their main topic of the paper. Perfect. Notice running head, R capitalized, H here is lowercase, colon, and the rest of it's in all caps with the page number. On a title page, your title is centered and on the first page. Here's the title of the paper. You write your name, and then it's Florida Southwestern State College. Page 2, notice there's a stark contrast between the level, not the level header, but the header here for page 2 than there is for page 1. This is a different first page heading when you go into your settings in Word. I did post a video on how to do that yesterday. So if you have any questions on how to separate the page 1 and page 2 and subsequent headers, uh, refer to that video, please. So again, page 1, running head. Here's the title. Here's the title of the paper. You can just put a few words in reference to maybe a phrase that has something that it should have a phrase that has something to do with the title of your paper, which I'm okay with that because you really wouldn't want all of these words in the title because then you're going to have two separate lines here, which it's not proper APA format. So just a small phrase or section of your title of the paper will suffice. Page 2, abstract. You notice here it's centered, non-bolded. You have all caps. Here is the phrase of the paper, non-invasive and non-invasive monitoring, page 2. We talk about the abstract. It's all left-centered, is not indented on the first paragraph here. Then we go to page 3. Same thing. Look at the header. It does not say running head. It follows same format as page 2, the page 3. And then we have the title of the paper, Invasive versus Non-Invasive Monitoring Methods and Techniques. Then I'm talking about, here's the introduction, okay? Here's your introduction, and it says the healthcare worker has the option to monitor a patient in a variety of ways. This can include invasive and non-invasive methods, each of which will have its own disadvantages and advantages and disadvantages. So automatically, this writer is setting up for me how they're gonna set up their paper. Level 1 heading. Look, they already mentioned they're going to talk about invasive and non-invasive methods. So invasive monitoring is bolded, centered, major words are capitalized. So that's a section of your paper. That's a main section. So you have your thesis followed by your main sections of your paper. Main sections, level 1 heading. If you have a subsection, it is a level 2 heading. So if you wanted to elaborate further about invasive monitoring and have a level 2 heading, that's fine. But typically not going to use level 2 headings in this course, mostly in some of your other classes. So the student goes on to explain invasive monitoring, breaks it up into a couple of different paragraphs. Then the second one they said they were going to talk about was, right here, non-invasive methods. So fundamental non-invasive monitoring. So you can name this whatever you want. It just says non-invasive monitoring. I like that the student put fundamental non-invasive monitoring. They chose to do this. Again, it's bolded, it's centered, major words are capitalized, and they go on to explain their topic in multiple paragraphs. Then another topic of their paper was transcutaneous monitoring, okay? And they go on to discuss that. So again, you use a level 1 heading here, which is capitalized, major words capitalized and bolded. So then they go on to talk about that. This is the person's conclusion. This whole area that I'm highlighting is the person's conclusion, all right? This area, it's fine. You can actually come in here and you can do a separate level heading or level 1 heading like this. You can write the word conclusion in that's bolded, and the C is capitalized. You can choose to do that, or you can choose to do what this student says is, I can tell right here that this is the person's conclusion because they tie up all their loose ends in the paper. So you can write in conclusion here, or you can write a section here that talks about your conclusion, okay? So these are my expectations of when I say, it's not an APA format, this is what I mean. So in this week's, for the papers, all papers, even your final project, I believe there's 3 more papers to do, okay? 2 major ones, 1 very minor, it's a reflection paper at the end. This is how I'd like it set up. So your level headings are going to help me as your reader or any reader reading this to help. It helps your paper flow, and you can set your paper up like this. So if you already know what your main your main topics are going to be, go ahead and put invasive monitoring. Just put in your level 1 headings, fundamental non-invasive monitoring, and then write your paper around all of your level 1 headings and your title. So that's what I expect. Any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me, you guys. Everyone is doing much better as they communicate with me. Again, like I said, if somebody wants to meet at the school, that's absolutely fine. Some of you, I've spoken to several of you on the phone, and everybody seems to be getting it. This is exciting, you guys. This is preparing you to take more courses in the bachelor's program and for your capstone, okay? Again, I hope everybody has a good weekend. To those who finished the paper, and if you're working on the paper, I hope this helps you. Have a great weekend, everybody.